Alright, cool. So let's go ahead and get started. So I want to get started by taking a look at last week's homework. Yeah, you just got a Snapchat. That's what we call interactivity. Alright, so this was basically the homework from last week. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Alright, so write a function that takes a list and a number. Return the numbereth. If I was really writing this more specifically, I probably should have said and a number n, and then return the nth element of the list. This should be indexed by 1, and then I give an example. So a equals, and then I give a sample list consisting of the strings a, r, p, and q. And then get item from list a2, and then the above should return r. If the number given is out of range, so if it's like negative, or if it's, in this case longer or bigger than 4, return -1 instead. So, for example, get item from list A100 will return -1. Okay, so a lot of people kind of got it right, but I did see a few common mistakes. So I'm going to show off this homework, which is, where'd it go? Oh man, I had it pulled up and everything. The best laid plans of mice and men. Shit. Alright, hold on, let me go pull it back out again. What?
Sorry.
The best laid plans of mice and men, I swear. Here we go. Alright, so let me paste the link in the chat so everyone can follow along. Yeah, it's not a cat. Alright. So here is the homework that we're going to look at. So let's ignore this get input part, and we're just going to focus on this get item. So I'm actually just going to kind of make a big space here. So you should all have the, what's up, Steph? How you doing? So you should be able to click on the link and follow along with me. So let's see. I'm actually going to delete all this get input stuff, and we're going to replace it because this person did some really nice stuff where they built the list from the input. So that was really cool. But I'm just going to write a little sample. So A equals A, B, C, D, and then we'll say like get item of A, and then item 2, and of course we print B as we should. So drink the coffee because holy shit, PAX takes a lot out of you. So what this person did, and a lot of people did actually, I think 3 or 4 people did this. I kind of lost track, and I basically saw it a couple times like, yep, I need to talk about this. So there's kind of 2 blocks of code here, right? There's this function, this def get item, and then there's kind of this block of code, which in most languages you would call like the main. This is the code, when you start the program, this is what gets executed, right? This stuff on lines 9 and 10. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Let me know if the font size is too big or too small. Like if I comment this line out and I just run it, like nothing happens, right? Like this code never actually gets executed, right? Right? Everyone with me? Makes sense? Good. In fact, let's see. Oh, damn. Okay, cool. Never mind. It's just an experiment. Okay, so let's get back to this. So this homework, while technically does what I asked for, it will print the nth element of the list, n being 1 index, and of course if I did a 99999, we get -1 as we should. So, and I forgot who did this homework. So this homework, the person said didn't actually say I could use it for permission, or didn't give me explicit permission to use it. So I'm not going to say their name, but if they are in, okay, they already added themselves. Okay. All right, well, they already added themselves in the chat. So I wasn't going to say their name, but okay, anyway. So what went wrong here? So technically the print happens inside this code, right? So in def get item, so let's say we do this call here. We call get item with A and 2. So the list is A, B, C, D. We know that. And elem is the integer 2. right? All makes sense. So then we do, if elem is greater than the length of the list, fine, or elem is less than 0, both make sense. Then we print -1. So the print happens in here, but what we really wanted to do was we wanted to return it, right? We wanted to return -1 back to the top level main, which is this. So what we really wanted to do was say return -1 and then return this, because what that does, and this is why I wanted to use this. Oh, come on, did I close this? Oh, there we go. All right, awesome. So if I use this, and hopefully this shows up well. Okay, so let's see. Let me see if I can show these side by side, because that would be really helpful. Alright, that works, I guess. Good enough. Windows 10. Okay, so this stuff here, right? See, actually, oh wow, that was really good. Okay, so this stuff here, right, lines 1 through 7, this is the function getItem. And then I'll pick a different color and make this really cool. I like the color blue. Actually, that's kind of purple, but that's fine. It's a fine color. So this stuff here, screwed that up.
That yellow is.
So this stuff here, is that closer? Yeah, close enough. That stuff here is kind of what we'll call the main. And I apologize for my terrible handwriting. So remember we kind of talked about, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I know Catane doesn't have VAC, but it's like, what if I want to play CS:GO? Then I get in trouble.
Just never play CS:GO.
Just never, or Dota, or anything else that has valving to cheat. Anyway, so remember how we talked about things that have a box, right? Functions can be thought of as boxes where things go in and things come out. Like, let's see, let's erase. Do I have more room?
That's not always true, Hummus.
I know, that's what I'm talking about right now. Okay, so we have this kind of box, the get item box. And then what goes in is we get the list. So we get the list, A, B, C, and D. And then we also get a number, what I use, 2. And then what comes out of the box is, of course, the second element, which is B. Right? Yeah, I'm definitely not hooking into games that are... why am I hooking into Catane? That's early experimental stuff. Things that Tune knows, but she's not going to say. Alright, so we have so getItem is this box, right? We put this list in, we put the number in, and we get that item out. But what this person actually did, and I'm going to erase this, is we don't actually return anything in their original version. So I'm going to Control-Z some shit. And instead, we just get nothing out, right? We don't actually return anything back to the caller, right? So now here's a little quiz. If I say x equals getItem, or I'll say, some item equals getItem A2, like this bit of code, what is the value of some item?
Oh, that's what they did. Huh. Kind of funny. I don't know how
Hold on.
Python
Cookie
does
dough,
that.
that means you forgot a closing quote in line 1. Alright, so I see a none, I see B. Any other guesses? What is... So like if I did this, what does this print?
C++ doesn't lead. Yeah, I want to say that's true.
No more guesses? Alright, that's fine. So this will actually print none.
What kind of none?
None is a special value in Python. So because we printed it up here instead of returning it back. So return basically says, this is what I want to come out of the box. But instead of, we just printed. So this whole block of code has no return value. Nothing gets shoved out of the box. So instead, if we do return, now it will work like we expect, where we print B. Does that make sense? Is none the same as null in C? Well, there is no null in C, so... Wachow!
What am I thinking?
Are you talking about this none, Memphis? Alright, Sansman, excellent. Yeah, don't. So if you've made this mistake, don't feel bad. Like I said, a handful of people made that mistake. Like it's totally natural. Yeah, I mean, there's null. It's just like defined to be 0. Okay, so this none is because the way this IDE works is it treats this whole thing as its own little function. So what it's saying is the return value from this code is none. So that's why. Yeah, I mean, null is, yeah, just 0. It's not like a special
Oh, yeah,
value like it
that's
is in, Java or Python or a lot of other languages. So that's why. Oh, bound to find null. That was awesome. Yeah, so void is a special indicator that says, a function. So in some languages, just as a little bit of a tangent, when you define a function, you have to declare what kind of thing it returns. You have to say, like, this is a function that returns an integer, or this is a function that returns a string. And in like something like C, you can say this is a function that returns void, which is, a way of saying this is a function that returns nothing. There is nothing that gets returned. Will the green none go away if we return something from main? Actually, that's a good question. Let's find out. Let's see if we were to return 2. Yep, return outside function. Maybe, I actually don't know. Maybe it doesn't treat it as a top level function. I'm not exactly sure. Because essentially it's what this, oh, hold on. What if I did this? Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm very curious. I don't know too much about the environment, but because it can't be like an exit code, right? Let's find out. I'm gonna get distracted. Look what you've done. Exit. See what happens. I'm actually curious what happens. Ah, it just kills it. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's so good. Alright, great. Reload. Okay. Okay, so any questions on what I just did? Yeah, so your main, like, top level, I guess, you can't return anything. Interesting. What's the difference between none in Python and void in C? Void in C, or that is a long conversation we're not going to get into. I'm sorry, Wodar. Another day. Yeah, essentially, like, void in C is just, like, a special value, like 0. And then null in like Python is like kind of is a special value that kind of has like language meaning. Like I can just chuck 0 everywhere in C code, and that means the same as null. Like somebody above in chat said, who was it? Yeah, eval plays like pound define null as a null pointer, right? So, okay. Any more questions about that? I will give 30 seconds for chat to catch up, and then we're going to talk about the topic of the day, which is a really cool one. This is actually one that I meant to talk about 2 weeks ago, but it kept getting pushed back because I kept kind of rearranging what I wanted to talk about. So, we have some new stuff today. Ugh, I have gross tax documents on my desk. I'm so sad. What are we doing again? We're living the dream, cookie dough. We are living the dream. Okay, so actually let me fix the code as well.
Are we living the dream?
We are living the dream. Oops, get item. Cool.
get good.
All right, so I see no questions, so we can move on. So let's see. Bam. And thank you so much to, well, I guess I'll say your name because you kind of outed yourself in the chat, but thank you, Sansman, for, you didn't give me explicit permission, but at least being cool with me talking about and tearing apart your homework live on stream. I totally appreciate it. Okay, oh, look at my beautiful drawing. I'm actually really pleased with how that worked out. The drawing. Yeah, thank you, makers of Twidla. You guys are fantastic. Let's erase all this crap, because I may need this again. We'll find out. Yes, thank you. Essentially, I hope this is okay, but I think I will just start like using people's homework for stream purposes if I need it. I won't tell people. I won't say your name unless you explicitly tell me in the message to me like it is okay if you. Actually, let me put it this way. By default, I will use your home. I will, consider it okay to use your homework, but I will
Unless
not say your
explicitly said
name.
no.
Huh? Yeah, I will not say your name. If you don't want me to use your homework, just say so in the email. Just say, or in the Twitch message, just say like, please don't use my homework on stream, and then I won't. And then if you're okay with me using your name, leave that little note, and I will give you credit. So there you go. Evan Grill, we are learning code today. All right. Cool. Let's talk about dictionaries. So we talked about lists, right? Like lists are just lists of things. Like there's a list of 6 numbers, right? Let's call it numbers. There's a list of the first 6 natural numbers. Here's some names. Kletos, Wodarnine, Nanthelus. It's so hard to mispronounce your name intentionally when I am typing your name. Evan Grill. So those are some names. We also have, what others can we have in our list? Things Hummus can see from his computer chair. I can see my couch.
You can see
I
your
can see
computer.
speakers. I can see my computer. I mean, if I look down, I can see my computer.
You can see the list that you're typing right now.
I can see the coffee. I can see the list. All right. So we have a bunch of lists, right? Whoops. And we can print them. So print numbers, print names, print things. Ugh. God, this is a bad variable name. Can see from
operating
his
system homework.
chair. What's up?
That's exciting.
We have OS. Dude, I love OS. Was one of my favorite classes in school. I loved operating systems. It was great. All right. So we can print lists. We know how lists work. We can even append things to lists. So you can say like numbers.append 7. And now if we print numbers again, and I'm going to take out this, just look, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We append the 7, and now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we know how all this stuff works. Thank you, Nathalis. All right, so we know how this works. So now we're going to talk about another data structure called dictionaries. So what is a dictionary? So you all know what a dictionary is in real life, right? And this is the part where I would turn around and pull a dictionary off my shelf, but it's also not the year 1996, so I don't have a...
That's where you go to dictionary.com.
Yeah, that's where you go to dictionary.com.
Yeah.
Let's see, can I just find a scan of a dictionary? It's like, I need a dictionary page. I need a page from a dictionary. Now I have... I like just Googled search pages from dictionary and Google image search, and now I just like have scans of like funny words. Oh my god, this is so stupid. I just want like a random scan of a random dictionary page.
Just go onto Amazon and type in dictionary.
Oh, that's a good idea. I can just go to Amazon and search inside the book, huh?
Yeah.
There you go, Merriam-Webster. Oh, you're not gonna let me search inside the book?
What?
Oh my god. I've been thwarted at every turn. I've been thwarted at every turn here.
Did you look at a random page?
No.
What is this? How about look for another dictionary?
Yeah, I am right now. Alright, there we go. Found it. We got it.
This is a good page.
Alright, we're good. Come on. Load, man. All right, well, whatever.
Here, Sandsman has yours.
Sandsman has got me. All right, thank you, Sandsman. Perfect. All right, so this is what a dictionary page looks like, right? God, I did not think that would be so hard. I did not think that would be so hard to get. All right. Oh fuck, I have like books with glossaries in them. All right, whatever. Okay, so dictionaries, you have what are called so dictionaries have a bunch of entries, right? So here we have what do we have? We have hem through hen, right? So you have hemlock is an entry. You have hemp is an entry. You've got hemorrhage as an entry right here. You've got I don't know how to pronounce
Thanks.
hemophil.
I mean, it has a pronunciation right next to it.
Yeah, I don't know how to read that. All right, hemp seed, hen, all this, all these are entries, right? And an entry consists of two things. In Python dictionary speak, it consists of a key. Oh, look what I did. I'm really losing it today. I need more sleep. So it has a key and it has a value. Sorry, that was just really funny.
How many hours of sleep are you working on?
Oh, not many. PAX really takes a lot out of you, and I went to work today. It was a long day work. Anyway, okay, so you have all these entries, and entries have two things. They have a key and they have a value. Um, so the key in this case is the dictionary word. So the dictionary word here is like hemlock. And then the value is like all this stuff, right? A large evergreen tree of the pine family. So like another one, so hen, right? The key is the word hen, and the value is the female of the domestic fowl and other birds, right? Let's see, one more. So looking at this dictionary page, someone tell me the value of...
I'm going to have to zoom in if you can ask
Oh,
that.
okay. Someone tell me what is the value of hemetrope? God, there's already a command for that? Jesus.
Did I misspell dictionary page?
No, it's just a cooldown on commands.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, okay, so Nathan, yeah, so this is pretty easy, right? This is the key. Technically, if you really wanted to be a little more specific, like the word can be the key and then just everything following it is the value. So it would be like the pronunciation and all this, but it's okay. We're going to be a little simple. What's up, Alfalfa Scouts? Cat, how are you doing? So in Python, we can do something very similar. We can have a structure of keys and values. Yeah, don't smoke weed, kids. All right. So the way we define a dictionary, well, let's think of an example dictionary. So for lists, I did numbers and things I can see. What's a good dictionary? I do not Wodar, and I'm insulted by the implication. Okay, let's do. All right, so everyone, a couple people, type in your birthday. We're gonna make a dictionary of birthdays. All right, good luck, Tune. I'll see you soon. So, people, type in your birthday, just the day, the month and the day. You don't have to give me the year. All right, so we have Wodar is January 9th. Who else? Nthelis July 8th. Sandman May 7.
Oh,
All right, cool.
are we going to do that?
No, we're not doing the dictionary game. All right, cool.
Not the dictionary game. I was talking about the birthday game.
Yeah, that's what I meant. The birthday paradox. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So I'm just gonna start. Okay,
It's
so
not
birthdays. Let's see. Wodar 9, Jan 9. Let's see. I'm just gonna go for the first couple few. Nthelis. July 8. Sandsman. May 7. Blast March 6. Alfalfa. I spelled that wrong. Alfa.
Steph's birthday is February 42nd.
February 42nd. Alfalfa Scout, when's your birthday? April 26th. I'm going to put it in American speak just because keep everything consistent. And then the last one, Memphis S, December 18. Okay, so this is a dictionary. Actually, I'm going to do it over here. All right. So what have we done? We've created a dictionary. If I type in birthdays, we get this kind of dictionary back. This is just all the same stuff, kind of compressed a little bit. So everything on the left side of the colon is a key, and then everything on the right side of the colon is the value. Yes, sorry, Alfalfa. Just American speaks month. Oh God, hold on. The chat is overlaid. Okay, there we go. That's much better. Okay.
There we go. Month, day, year.
Yeah, whatever. It's so hard. So Wodar 9 is the key, and January 9. I'll spell it all out. Yeah, I'll just leave it. Jan 9 is the value. Nanthelus is the key, and July 8 is the value for Nanthelus. Sandsman is this key for this entry, and May 7 is the value for Sandsman. So if I do, let me clear this real quick. So if I do print birthdays, and we access them in kind of a very similar way that we access lists. So if I say print birthdays, Blastatron, we'll get March 6th. If we do print, birthdays, birthdays, Sandsman, we'll get, of course, May 7. If we do print so what do we get if we do print birthdays? Oh, why does Wodar 9 have a space in it? Whatever. Alfalfa Scout. Alright, so what does this print?
Why is Blaster not capitalized?
Because their username is not capitalized. Uh-oh, what happened to the stream?
Dead?
Uh-oh. Did my stream die for other people, or am I still okay?
You're loading for me.
Uh-oh.
Refresh.
Yeah, I'm just gonna refresh real quick. Oh, I wonder if I got the video quality. No, I didn't get the video quality. Okay, quick buffer. Everything's okay now? We're all cool? Alright. Alright, how's it going, SpongeBob Pants? Alfalfa Scout. Refresh the stream. Because you're so cool, Alfalfa. So yeah, of course, people that said April 26th, this indeed prints birthdays April, or prints April 26th. Okay. So now, what's going to happen if we try to access a key that doesn't exist? So print birthdays LT Hummus. So what do you suppose is going to happen here?
Error.
Can you be invited to my birthday? You have missed my birthday. My birthday already happened this year. Yeah, so this will say key error LT Hummus, which essentially means you asked for Lieutenant Hummus. I don't have an entry, so it gives you an error for that. What happens if you make a definition also a key? So that totally works. So let's say just for fun we had somebody called Jan9 and map to, I don't know, just foobar because I can't think of anything.
Oh.
Hey, what's up?
You compute people in your foobars.
I know, it's called metasyntactic variables. Now we did print birthdays Jan9. That totally works, as you would kind of expect. You cannot have two things in the dictionary with the same key, though.
So we're making a...
In fact, if you try...
It's a one-to-one, yeah.
Yeah, it's a one-to-one. If you try and add it again, it will overwrite the value. So that's why this will print AAAA instead of foobar. Okay, so does any questions on kind of what I just talked about? Can two keys map to...
Can you repeat that?
Which part?
Everything. Alright. I'll watch the VOD. I just got home.
Oh, just yeah, watch the VOD. Okay, so let's see.
Can two keys map to the same?
Stalin, no, it does not. In fact, if we were to print birthdays like this, you can kind of see it prints this in a
You
little.
can't do that.
Yeah, it prints it. There,
Mm-hmm.
I'll copy it into.
This is not subjective.
Yeah, so it prints it into kind of this format. If we clean it up a little bit,
Though, can it put the possibilities of going backwards?
no.
Okay.
Once you overwrite something, it's gone. So you can see, once I kind of make it a little prettier, Jan 9 is a AAA. So I'll move that away. Can you do len birthdays? Of course.
Also, did you enter the two keys mapping to the same variable?
Hold on. Whoops. Stay on this page because I hit a thing. So if I do print len birthdays, that will just give you the number of things in the dictionary. So yes, you can do that. Yeah, that's true. Okay, you are right, Edward Dog. You can map to the same value, so it's not technically one for one. So yeah, like if two people have the same birthday, so let's see. Does anyone have the same birthday as somebody on my list already? If not, I'm just going to pretend. If I don't hear in like 10 seconds if somebody has the same birthday. You can
see
lie,
it.
I don't even care.
I'll just take birthday as myself.
Yeah, what are 10 has the same. What are 9?
Yeah, okay, so you have the same birthday as yourself. We are not a tautology class. We are a programming class. Alright, so I'm just going to pretend
If I didn't know
that...
you were in a tautology class.
So yeah, Stalin, you are right. We need 23 people for a 50% chance of shared birthday. Alright, so we'll just pretend eval plays has the same birthday as Blastatron, so March 6. So there we go. And if we did print birthdays, Blastatron, and then print birthdays, eval plays, we will get March 6, March 6. You can totally do that. Can you use variables as values? Absolutely. So let's see. Hummus birthday. Should I reveal when my birthday is?
Keep it a mystery.
I'll keep it a mystery. Alright. It equals February 30th. And then I can say LT Hummus. Hummus birthday. And then if I do print, birthdays LT Hummus, we will get February 30th. Can you use variables as keys? Yes, you can. Generally, you don't want to unless you have a really damn good reason to do so. But I mean, you can. I don't recommend it. I guess the only time I've ever used like variables as keys or things in like dictionary comprehensions, which we haven't talked about, like list comprehensions are a special way of making lists. So there's a dictionary equivalent of that. Okay, cool. Any other questions on what we've talked about so far? I will give you 30 seconds or a minute or something to form your question. Can you make a self-referential dictionary?
You have
You
1
know?
minute to comply.
Let's find out.
Like A to B and then B to A.
Yeah,
I
you
think, I
can't.
mean, that
Well, hold on. Let's find this out.
shouldn't that work?
Maybe. We're gonna find out.
I mean, it sounds like there's going to be any confusion about if you're looking for A or B.
I want to say yes, but I actually don't know. Let's find out. Birthdays. Okay, so birthdays. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, alright, so you can. Yep, you can. Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. I would tell you why, but we haven't really talked about like references and the heap and other garbage. So you can. Alright, so any questions on kind of this stuff?
How deep can the dictionary go?
I don't know. There's a maximum recursion depth in Python, I'm pretty sure. But that's recursion, that's not dictionaries.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's technically what you've done is you've created it's a pointer to the dictionary object in memory. It's like, if in objects like the self thing.
Mm-hmm. So
Or
yeah, we can make a dictionary of dictionaries.
Yeah, of course. So, would a list of all lists contain itself? Yeah, there you go.
That's
So
how you.
I remember actually somebody asked, like, can you make a or a dictionary where the value is a list? Yes, you can. So we can do like numbers equals, let's see, something like squares, and then the list, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36. Natural would be something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something like, I don't know, what's another set of numbers? I don't want to do like rational, that's silly. Because the rationals are densely ordered. Oh, powers of 2. Powers of 2 can be something
Imaginary
like
numbers, man.
1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. So
56.
if you did something like, print numbers squares, you would get the list. And of course, you could do numbers squares 2, which would get you 9, right? In fact, I'm not going to explain that because I'm going to ask a trivia question. So what does numbers powers of 2... So what does this print right here? Oh, Fibonacci, that's a good one. Oh, fuck it, I'll add it just for fun.
Oh, you should also, yeah, Fibonacci's good.
2, 3, 5, 8, 13. Okay, so what does this print on line 21?
Chat saying.
So I see a lot of... Very good, yes. It prints 8. Well done. Alright, cool. So I hope I answered whoever asked about storing lists as values. You totally can. You can also do dictionaries as values if you are so inclined.
Can I? What happens if I use the list as the? I use a list as the. Not the
As the
definition,
key?
the other one. As the key, yeah.
Let's find out.
If it does work, it probably just going to make
Nope, you can't.
the same.
You get an error called unhashable type list. What that error means exactly, I will not get in. Well, I will get into it. Probably not now. I guess that can be bonus content. Yeah, what that error actually means. Okay, we're not going to get into it because you have to get into like how the inner working of of these things, or of how a dictionary is implemented like below the surface. For those who have a little bit of programming experience, like if you're in Java, dictionaries are like the equivalent of yeah, so exactly, Harisha. Dictionaries are the Python equivalent of a hash map, right? So the error is essentially there's no hash code defined for the type code or the type list. So yeah, if you've done like Java, it's hash map. If you've done C++, it is unordered map. It's not map, it's unordered map. Map is something different.
So can I implicitly make the list a key by having a variable be the key and then just looping through?
No, because you will get the same error.
You can't have a variable be a key.
You can have a variable be a key, but if it's like if the variable is a list,
No, the variable's not a list. The variable just takes in the element.
I don't understand what you're asking. Ask it in chat, or like make some code of what you want to do. Would it be the same issues as making the 16 in squares equals 16? I don't quite understand what you mean, Jim Tanis. If you clarify, I will answer, but for now, I'm going to move on. Okay, so let's say we have, I'm going to get rid of everyone's birthday. Sorry, everyone. And we're going to have our little numbers dictionary here. So if I want to add something to the to a dictionary, it's really easy. You just say numbers and then the new key you want. So like say Fibonacci, Fibonacci equals, and then you just say what you want it to equal. So like 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. And now if I do print numbers, actually let's print numbers before. Let's do this. Make it a little bit easier to follow. Okay. So now you can see here we have the dictionary with 3 things, powers of 2, squares, and natural. And now after we've added Fibonacci, we have powers of 2, squares, natural, and Fibonacci. Can you make this so making numeric value string? I'm still not quite sure what you're asking. We can go ahead and add another thing. So numbers. What's another good sequence? God, I can't think of any good sequences. Let's Google around for some good number. Oh, number words instead of the numerals? I'm still not quite clear on that. Like inside a list? Like, yeah, you can make a list of strings like as your value. That's totally fine. Oh my god. Wikipedia. I just Googled Wikipedia list of numbers. Oh, prime numbers. Why didn't I think of that? Alright. So let's say numbers prime equals, and we'll list the first few primes, which are 2, 3, 5, 8. 9's not prime. 11, 13, 15's not prime. 17. That's good enough. And then we'll print another separator and print numbers again. Oops. So we have, again, so powers of 2, squares, and natural. We add Fibonacci, powers of 2, squares, natural, Fibonacci. We add the primes, so now primes, powers of 2, squares, natural, Fibonacci.
Is in fact not.
Yes, that is true. Shit, I put 8? God damn it. Fuck, I meant to put 7.
8, the unknown.
8.
Second.
Where's my fucking Fields medal? Because 8 is prime now.
I mean, like.
I do not need any more coffee, apparently.
I mean, like I started a period class by asking the professor why do we consider 2 to be prime.
Because it's only divisors are 1 in itself.
No, like, he was bagging on like how proofs get complicated because you have to always have a special case for for 2 because it's an even prime number. So I said I was going like fuck it, why don't we just ignore it? And then he just like stared at me.
Because you can't do that, huh? I do need sleep, but it's okay. Life goes on. Alright, so does everyone understand how to add things to a dictionary? Any questions about that?
If you want to see all the prime numbers, go here. This will give you as many as you want.
Dragon Dota, that is a great question. I will answer that. If you want to stick around until the end of stream, after the streams, I just kind of answer general computer sciencey questions, and I will be happy to tackle that question for you because that is a really fascinating question. Because the answer, much like most things job related, is it depends. But I can give you some tips to help get a better chance of that sort of thing. All right, any questions about adding things to dictionaries? I'll say 30 seconds and then I'll move on. Oh, Jim Tennis, okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so Jim Tannis is asking, can you have like a mixed type list as a value in this? So like if I said, Jim, and then the numbers, would you use, like 1, 4, 9, 25, 36, that's totally fine. I can just do, print numbers, Jim, and that will do exactly what you expect. There we go.
Yeah, but it wouldn't know that 9 is a number.
Exactly. Like if you started to treat this as a number, and like if you had some code that treated it as an integer, you would crash out there. Oh, cool, Harisha. Yeah, I can totally talk about getting jobs in the computer science or in the programming industry, the computer industry, after this. Then I will add, and I'll put that actually on my list of things to talk about. Hold on. All right, cool. Yeah, exactly, Jim Chan. It's probably not the greatest thing in the world, but you know it works. Okay, cool. So I see no questions, right? Cool. All right, awesome. So now let's talk about the deletion. How do we delete things from dictionary? So let's add Fibonacci into the definition. So we'll say, get rid of Jim. Sorry, Jim. Fibonacci 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, whoops, 3, 5, 8. And then the primes, which I will do correctly, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17. Get rid of this. Okay, so now we have our new dictionary. So we'll print numbers. We'll print a little separator. Actually, fuck it. We'll say del and then numbers squares. Print a little separator just to make it a little easier to read. Then we print numbers again. So the first time we say we have, okay, primes, we have powers of 2, we've got squares, we've got natural, and we've got Fibonacci. Now we delete squares, and now we have prime, powers of 2, natural, and Fibonacci. Nanthelus, I don't actually know how to answer that question. Dragon, I will talk about all that at the end of stream. But that is a really good question. Oh, and you also broke the Twitch thing because I didn't give it enough room. Alright, cool. So deleting is really easy. It's just del and then the variable and the key. Does that make sense to everyone? I hope it makes sense. Alright, just to make sure it makes sense, let's see if I do del number. Oops. Alright, what does this print at the very bottom here? So we do a couple additions, we do a couple deletions. What does this print?
Nice perfect number.
Yeah, you like, oh, whoops. Pretend I actually did not syntactically fuck this up. Alright, so I see a couple threes coming through, which is indeed the correct answer. So the length of the number of elements or entries in the dictionary at the start is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We delete, so now we're down to 4. We delete again, we're down to 3. We delete again, we're down to 2, and then we add a new one, and we are back up to 3. So what are all of the keys in the dictionary at the end right here? What are all the keys? So just type them out in a list. Alright, cool. So a lot of people saying, yep, correct. Natural, Fibonacci, and perfect. So if we just print the dictionary right now, we can see we've got perfect, natural, and Fibonacci. Cool. Any questions on adding and delete? Yeah, is there any questions about adding and deleting things from the dictionary? Yes, so Alfalfa Scout. I was waiting for somebody to ask about this. As Alfalfa Scout points out, dictionaries are unordered. They have no order to them. So, like lists have an order, right? You have the 0th item, the first item, the second item, the third item, the fourth item, the fifth item, the sixth item. Dictionaries have no order to them. Zero order, please. If you remember one thing, remember that. If I had $1 for everybody, for every person I've interviewed who says like I'm gonna sort the dictionary, I just go like, oh.
I mean, like, isn't there a way to sort the dictionary?
I mean, there's a way to sort a representation of the dictionary.
Oh my god. I feel like that's just like
So Alfalfa
fantastic at
Scout,
that point.
I guess I kind of used the wrong word. It's not that they're unordered. They have an order to them, but the order is not defined or useful to anybody, usually. Like you can sort the keys and print out the dictionary in sorted order,
In some fashion.
but like the dictionary itself, like stored in memory, like this means nothing. Like numbers, like the get the 0 thing, like that means nothing. So don't do it.
So what are the
Uh,
uses of knowing the length of your dictionary?
I mean, it's nice to know like you have an empty dictionary. What will be the uses of Yeah, so there are implementations of dictionaries that do keep order, as some people in chat have pointed out. So, like in C++, there's map instead of unordered map. That's true. Okay, so Alfalfa Scout, so numbers underscore or sub-0 would be like if you had a key for 0, yes. But like getting like the 0th item in order doesn't really make sense most of the time. So there are implementations of ordered dictionaries. So like in C++, that's map instead of unordered map, which is what this is. In Java, there is tree map, and
Ooh.
in in Python, there is, somebody mentioned it, yeah, ordered dict. Ordered dict.
Well, I mean, like, it's the most important thing, just knowing that you have more than like one or more things in your dictionary.
I mean, it depends, like on what you're trying to do. The reason, and just as a little trivia nugget, the reason there is no order is because it allows faster access time. Why that works, I'm not going to get into right now. Maybe I'll get into on like a later stream or later class and about like exactly how dictionaries work underneath the surface, because it's really, really interesting. Heap-based data structure. Heaps are okay. Come on, man. Nothing's better than those acyclic directed graphs.
Ooh.
The
Hummus,
DAGs,
it's
directed acyclic graph.
all about them self-balancing trees, Hummus.
That's true. Red black tree is pretty good.
Red black trees for the win.
Red black tree is pretty cool. All right. So, and of course, we didn't totally talk about it, but we kind of alluded to it. You can change things in a number, or sorry, you can change entries in a dictionary just by overwriting it like so. So, like numbers, powers of 2, we can change the list. We can say 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, and then say 64. Now if we print, print numbers, and then we'll print numbers up here, so we can just numbers print. Okay, so you can see powers of 2 right in this dictionary is 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, and then powers of 2 in this dictionary is 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64.
Would you be able to just do a pin?
Yes, you can do that. So Wodar asked, like, what if we did this?
That's very
So
useful.
technically, what we haven't
So
done.
is this?
Hold on, let me finish it. So the difference between these two numbers, powers of 2. 32, 64. Okay, so there's a kind of interesting subtle difference between these two lines. The first line, what we do is we take that dictionary item, right? We take this entry and we just completely overwrite it. We delete the old thing and we just totally overwrite it with this new list. What we do with this entry here, or sorry, with this line of code right here on line 14, is we get this list and we call the append64 method on it. So we call the append method with the argument 64, which appends. We talked about appending things to lists earlier in class. So we actually modify this list in place. It's a kind of subtle difference. But there you go. Can we delete a single element of a list, or will its position if element remains something not? I don't understand that question. I mean, yeah, you can delete an element from a list and it'll just shrink the list. Shrink the list. Are we just doing pointers? Kind of, but they're not totally pointers. They're references. It's a little different.
Basically.
God, maybe we should talk references and pointers next class. I don't know. That might be fun. Okay, so any questions on... Hold on. So any questions on this stuff? Yeah, so Stalin, lists in Python are more akin to vectors in C++ or array lists in Java. They're not like arrays where they are fixed length. I've used NumPy like once. Okay, I'll wait a little bit more for any questions, and then we will move on to the last little bit. And then, so we're going to talk about one more topic with maps. I'm going to do a little bit of kind of like review. Sorry, I said maps. I've been trying to use dictionary because Python calls them dictionaries. Some languages call them maps. So I'm trying to use the term dictionaries, but like I always call them maps, like when I'm talking day to day, because the language I normally write in calls them maps. So whatever. But if you ever hear the term map, it can mean dictionary, but it's like another computer science concept that also is called map, like the map functions. It's just. So I will do my best to call them dictionaries, but if I accidentally call them...
Does Python have anything for map?
I mean, Python has like the map function, yeah. Okay, so no questions on this. So the last thing we're going to talk about is how to iterate, through a dictionary. So let's talk about lists first. So we had, yes, it turns out programming is complicated and language is also complicated. So we had the kind of names list. I'll quickly make it again. Dark Twinge, just some chatters. Whammer, is it 2? Whammer 100. Wolf Darrigan and Stalin. God, Barithion. Okay, so we did, kind of for X in names, print names, right? Like we've seen this before. Whoops. God damn it. Print X. Nope. Fuck, I'm an idiot. All right, there we go. So, oh God, it's been a long day. So, okay, we did for X in names, print X, right? So this is a for loop. We go through the loop a bunch of times where X takes the place of an element in the list every iteration. So the first time we go through the loop, X is Dark Twinge. The next time we go through the loop, X is Whammer. Next time we go through the loop, it's Wolf Darrigan. And then the last time we go through the loop, it's Stalin Barithion. Right? We've seen this before. We've seen this many times. Right? Is anyone unclear on this? Because I'm about to go a little crazy with the dictionary equivalent of this.
Yeah, because I was going to say, like, if you're going to do this for the dictionary, you're going to have to have an ordering on it.
We'll talk about that. I don't like iterations, said no one ever. Go functional programming. Alright, good. I'm going to assume that this is not a surprise to anyone in this channel at this point. Alright, so let's make ourselves a dictionary. Let's Control X a little bit. Or Control Z. Oh god. Starting to lose it. Alright. So let's see. What if I did for X in numbers print X? What does this do? So what this does is this iterates through all of the keys. We go through the list, or we go through the for loop once for every entry in the list. And X, our loop variable, becomes a key. So we have, prime, we have powers of 2, we have what's the next? Squares, we have natural, and we have Fibonacci. Now remember, the dictionary is unordered, or sorry, not unordered. The ordering is undefined. Which means the ordering is not really controllable by you. It has to do with the way that dictionaries are implemented. You just have to deal with it, unless of course you're using something like an ordered dict. But that's why it's printing in kind of a random order.
Will it but it'll always print in that order?
Yeah. So like if I
If you
do,
run it again and
yeah.
again.
So if I do it again and again, you'll see it will print. I'll put a little separator real quick. Print, just to make it clear. You will see
it's not in ordering.
it prints in the same order. Java has a similar thing. Java has a very similar syntax to this. It's just for, in a colon. I mean, unless you're using something like, but what was that added? Like Java 1.5? Please don't be using anything earlier than Java 1.5. Please don't be using anything. Maybe it was 1.6. God, I can't even remember. It's ancient at this point. Okay.
I hope I never have to like just print out a dictionary without knowing the ordering of the dictionary first.
I mean, well, the whole point of a dictionary is it doesn't have an order. Like, if you're using a dictionary to maintain like order of something, then you've done something horribly wrong,
Yep.
and I will be mad. Yeah, Haskell's a really cool language. I love me some Haskell. All right. So if we want to print every value, we can just do print numbers x. So I'm going to delete this. And of course, we'll print every value in that kind of same order, right? So actually, I'll keep the... So we'll print first every key, and then we'll print every value. So you see we get the prime numbers first, then the powers of 2, then the perfect squares, then the natural numbers, and then the Fibonacci numbers. Okay, so does this make sense to people? Yes or no? Yeah, I mean, Java versus Python, it comes down to like the right tool for the right job, right? Right tool for the job. That's like anyone who ever like complains about programming languages, you just got to be like, you got to use the right tool for the right job. Except for PHP, it's okay to complain about PHP all you want. Sorry, warning track if you're watching this.
I feel like I don't understand why Python lets you do.
Lets you do what?
Just like lets you iterate over a dictionary without you first defining and ordering.
Just why not? Sometimes you just need to iterate through a dictionary. It's fine.
I feel like if you need to do that, then it should have been a dictionary to begin.
No. There are totally legit reasons to have a dictionary and then print it out in some sort of order. And spoiler alert, this may come up on the homework.
To have a dictionary and either.
This may come up in the homework. Okay, so now this is kind of annoying. Like, if we wanted to print out a dictionary with the key and the value, we could do something like this. For x in numbers, print, we'll say x, comma, and then numbers x. So this will print, prime, and then the prime numbers, power of 2, and then blah, 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 blah. So we've done print x, which is the key, and then print numbers sub x, get the value. Does this make sense? Yeah, Java is definitely verbose. Sandsman, we are going to get to that. Java is definitely verbose, but it is the I swear, it is the one of the big workhorse languages. Workhorse languages. Whoops. All right. All right, so quiz time. I want you to write a little bit of code. So here, I will delete this. I will generate a link. Valiant cookie, yes. These are maps and Pythons in Python. Okay, so there's the code which you can go ahead and edit. I want you to write me a loop that prints the first element in every list of the dictionary. So I want you to go through the the dictionary of numbers here, and I want you to print the first, in whatever order it happens to be. Just print the first element of every list. And for bonus, go ahead and print the last element of every list as well. And I'll give you a little bit of time to do that while I actually work on my own implementation that I can show you. Alright, cool. Memphis, do you have a question? Or Memphis, do you have a question? If so, go ahead and ask it. Uh-oh, do I have Snapchat from Tune? I do. Oh, it's from the plane. Nice. Alright, I'll give about another... Oh, okay, let's see. We have a solution here. Nice. Nice job, Wolf Darrigan. In fact, Wolf Darrigan, I like your solution. Okay, so let's take a look. So this the problem was to print the first and the last element of every list. So we'll run this. So we print, the key apostrophe s first, and then numbers of the key element 0, and then the last we do the same thing, the last one, numbers of the key of -1. Yeah, so -1, remember, in Python is a shortcut for the last element. -2 is second to last, and so on and so on and so on.
That's what I was missing.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, so who did I just click on? Harsha, yeah, so Harsha, your code will work, but you can simplify. Instead of doing the len and then -1, you can do just -1 as a little shortcut. Nice job. Who was that? Ice Cold. Very well done. So yeah, cool little trick there. The last thing I'm going to talk about is I'm scared to click Wodar's. Wodar, you just pasted the link again.
Did I?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
I
did. Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Same thing with you, Nanthelis. Is an i3 enough for programming? Yeah, probably. Nice job, Nanthelis. Very good. I mean, it depends on what you're programming, but, in general, yeah. Alright, so let's talk about one more way to iterate through a for loop, and then, one more way to iterate through dictionary, and then we will talk about homework. This is good. I wanted to end about 9 o'clock, so this is real good. Okay, so another way to do this is this function called iter items. So we can say, I'll just write some code and then I'll explain it. So for loops don't have to take one element as their loop, or one variable as their loop variable. They can actually take two. So iter items, if you use it in this way, goes through the list, goes through the dictionary, and inside the loop you will have the key be the key and the value be the value.
Oh, I thought you said we're not tautology.
Yeah. So you can see if I say print key and then print value, actually let's do it all on the same line just for a little more readability. You can see prime and then is the key, the list is the value, powers of 2, the list, squares, the list, natural, the list, and Fibonacci, the list. So this is kind of a really nice shortcut to print out a dictionary, or at least iterate through dictionary easily. So any questions on this? Hopefully this makes sense. As for how iter items exactly works, don't worry about that for now. We can talk about it later. But for now, just assume it's black magic that makes this happen. And then if there are no more homework, or if there's no more questions about this stuff, I will talk about homework for this week, and then I can answer questions because I know Nux Global asked me a question in Whisper, and then who was it? Dota or something? Dota? Who was it? Oh man, who was it? Dragon Dota asked about getting a job in the computer industry and or as a programmer. Okay, so practical uses of dictionaries. In fact, one of them will be your homework assignment. Other practical uses of dictionaries. Let's try and think. Basically, anytime you need a value or a key to associate a value, it makes sense to use a dictionary. So, for example, think about Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. They actually use a dictionary in a really clever way. Or not a clever way. I mean, in a really good way. I mean, it's clever in that it's smart. Let's see. Where's the page? I don't know how to describe it. It's like it was a good choice to use a dictionary. So, for example, remember this page on Morse code? This is a map right here, or sorry, a dictionary, where the key is the word, and then the value is the frequency it maps to. That's a really good use of a dictionary. Who's on first is another great example of a dictionary. So there's actually two dictionaries for who's on first. The first kind of really obvious one is the word list, right? The key is, where's my hand? So the key is the word, the keyword, and then the value is the list of words. And then the other dictionary in who's on first is the positional diagram. So the key would be the word, and then the value is which word or which thing you have to look at in the grid of 6. So dictionaries are probably one of the most common data structures. Are we going to talk about prototypes? No, we're not talking about prototypes next time. So dictionaries are probably one of the most common data structures, at least like in my day-to-day work as a developer. I'd say I use dictionaries probably more than any other data structure. Dictionaries are probably the biggest, then lists, then kind of everything else. Maybe some graphs. Graphs are cool. All right, so any questions about any other questions? A quick word about tuples. I was going to talk about tuples a little bit next week. Yeah, I'm going to talk about tuples next week, ice cold. I'll talk about tuples are kind of special cases of lists, essentially. But I will talk about them next week. Let's see. What do I program in for my job? At work, I do some. Most of our stuff is written in Scala, but a lot of kind of our deployment scripts and kind of the glue stuff is written in Python. Mostly because I wrote it and I got to pick the language. We all kind of decided on Scala, and then I decided on Python for a lot of the back-end scripting BS. Yeah, tuple is also a fun word. Okay, cool. So no questions on that. No, I mean C, C++ is good. Like having a good solid C foundation, I think is pretty. I mean, you could write your own matrix multiplication algorithm. All right, so let's talk homework. So homework, I want you to write a word counter. So how does this work? Let me actually create a new repo. Uh, all right. So one thing you will have to learn for homework is the split function. So split takes a string and it returns a list. Sorry, let me start over. So split takes a string and it will kind of take out all of the spaces, like the white space, so like spaces, tabs, new lines, whatever, and it will return every block as a list. And I realized that like explanation was like really terrible, so I will just show you. If I say hello, my name is Hummus dot split, oops, you can see it makes the list hello, my name is Hummus, right? That makes more sense than like whatever bullshit explanation I just gave. Does this make sense to everybody? So if I said print, A, B, C, D, A, dot split, it makes this kind of cool little list. A, B, C, D, A. All right. So does this split make sense? Everybody? Yes? No? Please tell me, because you will need it for your homework. What's up, Tune? Welcome home. Welcome home. Yeah, the automatic delimiter is a space. I believe any white space. Yeah, default delimiter, if you don't give it to the split function, is a white space in general.
Huh.
Okay. So
Is
what I
double
want
white space fine?
Yeah. So like it just like, any white space in a row.
Okay.
Technically, if you speak regular expression, it's what is it? Yeah. Nope. Fuck. All right. I don't speak regular expression clearly, so forget I said anything. Oh no! People are already sending Tune cat photos. Oh no! Why is that cat in a claw machine? That's so weird. All right. Anyway. Okay, it is slash space. Good, I wasn't sure. I was like, no, that's non-word character. Okay, so it is white space. Okay. So essentially it matches that. Alright. So here's the homework. I want you to write something that takes a string, so for example, A, B, C, D, A, and then it prints the number of times every word appears in that string. So for example, this string would print out something like A. It appears 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. B appears once, C appears once, and D appears once. Okay. So that's what I want you to write. And of course, if it prints out in whatever order, that's okay. For extra credit, print them in alphabetical order. That's extra credit, not required. But I want you to write some code that uses a dictionary to store these kind of word counts. Okay, any questions on the homework?
Will this be on the final exam?
Yes, everything will be on the final.
Will this question be on the final exam?
I'm not going to tell you. Thank you, Evan Grill. Thank you. And as always, you can send me a message on Twitch with your... Oh, come on, that didn't do what I wanted. Whoopsies.
Whoopsies.
It's like, I want a new thing. Alright, whatever. Edit com homework to be that. Alright, there we go. So that's your homework. And so like I said, as always, feel free to send me your solution on Twitch. I will email you back with kind of my comments on it or like kind of any feedback I have for your code. And of course, if you don't say anything, I will be free to use your homework on stream without identifying you. If you don't want me to use your code on stream, say so. And if you're okay with me identifying yourself, identifying you and giving you credit, also say so. And we'll talk about the homework next time. We'll talk about tuples next time, and a couple other things depending on what I come up with. So that is it for tonight's lesson. Thank you all so much for tuning in, sticking with it. This has been an awesome kind of what started as an experiment, and now like I got some really nice emails from you, or really nice Twitch messages I should say, from people who have found this course really entertaining and really helpful, and you know I love those, like they mean a lot. So thank you. They're really awesome to read. So thank you. And of course, if you hate the class and you think it sucks, you can let me know, as long as you tell me what I could do better. Is that Tune? No, that is Tune, but she's muted. Okay, so that's all I had. I will answer any and all CS questions I can, because I know a couple of people had them. So let's see. Nux Global asked a question. Yeah, Ice Cold. Go ahead and do that, or if you have or feel free to ask it here. Though I may not know it offhand. You know, I don't. As much as I don't like to admit it, I don't know everything. Thank you for tuning in, Memphis. Thank you. Let's see. Can you tell me something? Okay. So Nux Global has a goal to make some software application and makes a full website. Learning C. Okay, so programming languages for making a website. You'll definitely need to know HTML, probably CSS, probably JavaScript. Like, of those, HTML is like the bare minimum, but these days you'll probably want some CSS, JavaScript, and along with JavaScript you'll want to know the jQuery framework. And then you'll want a server-side language, like Python makes a great server-side language. There's a lot of web frameworks that use Python. Django is a really heavy one. I'm not a huge fan of Django anymore. I really like Flask. Flask is great. If you go to my GitHub, you can see a couple examples of websites written in Flask. That being said, if you are currently learning a language, don't branch out until you are really confident in that language. Because the hardest part about programming is like learning how to think like a programmer. Yeah, the hardest part about programming is like learning how to think, like learning how to like run through code and like compile it in your head and run it through it like that. Once you learn that, picking up a new language is pretty easy. So pick a language, learn it, and then from there, feel free to branch out. Let's see, why does your college still teach you Pascal? Got me. Is there a good alternative to the append command? I would say creating an empty list at the start of your code and then appending to it, that's totally fine. Like that, I would say is perfectly readable. I do it all the time. If it's not readable, someone please chime in. Yeah, PHP is pretty friendly. Like PHP, I give it a lot of shit. There are some things it does really nice. There are things I do kind of like about PHP, but man, there's just a lot to hate about PHP. So, there you go. It's not even that it's ugly. It's just, like, fucking register globals. What the fuck is that? Register globals is stupid. Things like that. Yeah, exactly what Evan said. It's like, it is really easy to write bad code in PHP. Like, you can write bad code in every language, but I just feel like PHP, it's really easy to write unsecure code. So there's that. A coworker of mine had to work on a PHP code base, and he's like, this was fucking awful. Okay, so somebody had a really good question. Who was it? Dragon Dota, was that it? Oh no, it fell off the scroll back. Dragon Dota, are you still here? Shit, Dragon Dota, if you're here, please ask your question again. What's your favorite command to open and write text files? I am a big fan of Sublime Text. I will show it to you. Here you go. I really love Sublime. That's kind of my favorite text editor of choice. I love it. I'll give it a plug. I've probably talked about it before on stream. I don't know if it's an abandoned project. There hasn't been an update in a while. So who the hell knows? The forums are, I don't know, I don't really look at the forums so much. Oh, hey, there was a dev. Oh, sweet, it's not dead. There's a dev build out 2 months ago, or sorry, 2 hours ago. Holy shit! Fuck yeah, there was a new dev build 2 hours ago, so I'll have to update that. Release fit. Holy shit! I love how I'm like, oh wow, there was. Okay, so last dev build was the 29th of January, so that was okay. I get credit for not knowing about that because I was at PAX, but before that, the last dev build was July 10th. So glad to see it's not totally abandoned. I love Sublime Text. It's kind of expensive if you want to pay for it. If it's free in the same way that WinRAR is free, like it nags, but I think it's totally worth the $70. Um, oh shit, you're right, Ice Cold. Or Evan Grill. God damn it! I thought you were talking about text editors. So reading and writing files in PHP or PHP. God damn it! In Python can be used with the open function. I'm not going to go into depth right now, but if you want to take a gander, you can take a look at. If you want to take a gander, Ice Cold, take a look at that. That's a little bit about reading and writing files. I will probably talk about this on stream at some point, but that is how you read and write files in Python. Sorry, I thought you meant like text editors, not things like that. Okay, yeah, so there's Dragon Dota's question. How difficult is it to get a software engineer job out of college? I was looking to go to university next year as a software engineering undergrad. I have 5 years of programming experience, so it's not difficult. Would you recommend a software engineering degree over a computer science degree? Okay. So let's talk. All right, so if you have a computer science degree, getting a job in the industry, first thing, get an internship. Like while you're in school, for sure get an internship. Don't not do that. They are a great way to get some experience on your resume. Like everyone always has how do I get experience on my resume? How do I get experience on my resume? Because all the jobs require experience. Get an internship. Like if you can get an internship at like one of the big companies like Apple, Amazon, Google, Facebook, like any of those, like that's like fantastic. It doesn't have to be at one of those. They generally pay a little bit more, but definitely get a internship. It is probably the best thing you can do for your career is get an internship at a company. So other things you can do, if you can't get an internship and you still want some experience, work on some open source code. There's tons of open source projects out there. Go ahead and work on one. Or if you don't have any project that you really want to work on, go ahead and write your own and make a little GitHub. So people who have like GitHub links on their resume, and I can like go and look at a project that they've done, that looks really good. So there's that. Computer science versus software engineering. I mean, software engineering is definitely more practical. Like computer science is about like kind of the fundamentals, like theory behind writing software. It's like a lot of the how does a dictionary work, but it's even like more than that. It's proving things about computer programs. It's like more of a branch of math than programming itself. And software engineering is more about kind of writing software. I imagine the school I went to did not have a software engineering course. I I majored in computer engineering, which it's like halfway between computer science and electrical engineering. It's basically computer science with more hardware or electrical engineering with more software, depending on how you want to look at it. So hopefully, Dragon Dota, that answers your question. It sounds like what you want is more software engineering, but if you're really more interested in like the fundamental, how do I prove that this is computable on a classical computer or a Turing machine or whatever the fuck model you want to use, that's it. That's really cool, Evan. I wish my university did that. Like the school I went to, there's like the computer engineering degree, but then there were like different tracks, like sub-degrees, like depending on where on the software versus hardware spectrum you really wanted to land. So there you go. So ice cold, what you want to do, like if you have something like, let me add a new REPL. So if you have a line like this, like A colon B colon C colon D colon E colon, and you do dot split, and you tell it split with a colon, that will, oh, did I just never try this? I'm so mad, because remember how we were talking about the none thing, and I just figured it was like what the last line evaluated to. Okay, maybe I just didn't do it right. I don't even know anymore. So like this will split on a colon for you, and of course it has the empty string because I have a colon at the very end. So like if I did like that, so that might help. Let's see, what other questions do we have? I'd rather take brackets over indentation, strongly typed over dynamic types. So strong versus dynamic is not. Yeah, so there's a lot of. Oh man, do I want to talk about typing disciplines? Oh man, like there
I
are
think
some.
you could save that.
I mean, I won't go too much into depth about typing disciplines. I will say like there are advantages to like dynamic typing and there are advantages to static typing. Um, is it possible to write a program that prints Fibonacci in reverse? Sure. Sure, sure, sure. Like there are some like I guess I kind of like Scala's static typing, like where you don't have to declare a variable as a type, you can just say var, whatever equals. But, all the types have to be known at compile time, which I really like because it makes static analysis of your code really easy. Like I dove into a really big Ruby on Rails project and I was just fucking annoyed because I couldn't figure out what the type of anything was. But that's neither here nor there. Let's see. I'm going to be a computer science graduate, oh, you're an international student, so jobs are hard to come by because of immigration laws and security clearance. Um, yeah, I mean there are jobs out there that you don't need, like I don't have a security clearance. How to use lambdas in Python? There is a lambda keyword if you want to do lambda functions. We have not talked about lambda functions yet. If you don't know what a lambda function is, don't you worry. Or terribly, yeah. Lambdas are fun. Everyone loves functional programming.